Mic checks echo, I'm the sound of the brawl. Canvas creaks, flesh slaps, bodies rise and fall. Steel cage dreams, no escape. All pain, blood stains mixed with the sweat and the chain. Adrenaline surging my veins, spit fire. Crowd chants feeding my soul's desire. Turnbuckles tremble when my wrath collides. Glory's the belt and I'm taking the pride. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Like flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Pyros ignite, shadows dance in the glow. Ringside roar, it's a gladiator show. Chokeholds tighter than the grip of the night. Climbing the ropes to new championship heights. The mat's a battlefield, no room for doubt. Every move calculated, every scream a shout. The bell tolls louder than a sinner's regret. This is the place where the bold never forget. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Like flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Like flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Circle Digest!
It is Wednesday, 7:40p. It is the place to be. It is the Squared Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley. The young man below me, that is the great Frankie Fresco. Frankie, how's your week, sir?
I guess I can't see myself. I don't know why. So
Hold on a minute. Hold on. No, I got you there. I don't know. You're there.
I see the video that I'm there, but for myself, I'm not. Hold on, I'm gonna jump out and jump back in and see if it works.
All right.
Okay? I'll be
All
right.
right, the great Frankie Fresco was there. Now you see him. Official DJ Minnow already in. Well, that's good, sir. Frankie Fresco has disappeared. You won't see him there anymore, but he'll be back in about 7 seconds. This is a 7-second pause for Sean Stanley.
Hello.
All right. Yeah, I was doing a 7-second pause until you got back. All right. Can you see yourself now?
I cannot, but it's okay. It is what it is. I can.
Oh, you're on the video though, right? It's coming on the video.
Yeah. Well, no.
No. Can you see Frankie? Let's just ask that.
No. Now people can see me. Oh, there you go. I came back. I think. Yeah, I think people can see me.
Man, I don't know. I just got the text that you said, "Do we have topics?" I don't know how long ago you sent it, but
That's so weird. No, but I see myself on the because I could see it on the. Oh, I can't even show you guys. I see it on. Well, at least I could see it on my phone.
Memo says he can see you. You are not John Cena. All right, so there we go. The great Frankie Fresco. So how has your week been thus far?
Good, man. It's been busy getting some stuff done, and I'm excited because the World Cup is right around the corner. It starts tomorrow, so I'm excited. And then your boy Frankie Fresco, I am gonna be. It's been confirmed.
Yeah, you're working, right? You're working some of the World Cup. Is that correct?
Well, on June the 27th, I got today confirmation. June 27th, Colombia plays against Portugal here in the Hard Rock Stadium. There's different block parties for the Colombia versus Portugal game, and you guys know I'm Colombian. So I was officially booked, and now your boy Frankie Fresco will be DJing at the Hollywood block party for the soccer game. It's gonna be me and a couple of my friends out there, so I will be going ahead and posting some stuff out, and you guys could catch me. So if you guys are Colombian fans or just want to hang and have a good time, I will be DJing at the block party in Hollywood. Since I can't get any tickets because they're too expensive, and FIFA's raping us when it comes to the prices, but still, your boy will be out there DJing, showing love to all the Colombians out there. So shout out to all my Colombians out there.
Frankie, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
All right. No, they said my mic sounds a bit distorted. So I cut it off and I cut it back on. But now I think I might be going to my video camera. Do I sound okay like I'm on my mic?
I can hear you perfectly fine. Hello?
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. I'm trying to look through my settings because right now I don't know if it just popped up or it sounds better. Okay, all right. I don't know. We'll go with this for right now. This will not be a super long show. We got World Cup get ready for Frankie.
Yes.
And so let's. I don't know if everybody's cheering for. I'm going to have a side rooting interest in Colombia, just for you, Frankie Fresco.
Well, I appreciate it, Sean. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'm a big,
Team
big
isn't
fan.
going to be far, so
Are we doing a pre-soccer World Cup preview? We could do one after this show. We'll go give a breakdown of all the groups, see who you think is gonna make it to the next round, and I could give my opinion, and then we could just give the fans what they want to hear. Your soccer analysis of what will happen in the World Cup. I think a lot of people want to know.
the only way I will do this is if Senor Tu Papa is on the broadcast.
Hey, he's not gonna be at the broadcast. No way, bro. First of all, my dad doesn't even know how to get on a camera. Like that's like
Make up for all the bad stuff I would even try to say.
my dad is kind of like Big O, where they're hard headed as hell, and they won't listen, and they won't go, and they think they're always right. So that conversation with my dad, no way. I'm not. He's fine watching the games at home, and I'll be watching some of them with him. So. But yeah, it's fun. We're gonna have a good time. Yeah, a lot. We love soccer, man. This is like, I, for us, the World Cup is like such a blast. It just sucks that the United States and FIFA screwed it for a lot of us because the goal was for like me and my family to go to a couple of these games, but so expensive, it's ridiculous. But it is what it is.
All right, I'm going to try to talk out of my video camera. Do I sound okay?
Ah, Sean, you sound horrible, sir.
Okay, that's not going to work. All right. So how do I sound okay to you, but everybody else is telling me I sound terrible on the...
Well, the thing is that I'm not saying that you sound
Like,
for me. You sound very loud, but it's still. It just. Last time we did this, remember last time a couple weeks ago, I said, "Hey man, your mic you sound a little bit weird," but we went with it, and the people said that you sounded perfect.
yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not tripping. Do I sound bad? If I sound bad, let me know.
I don't know. How about this? Does that sound any better?
That sounds better on my end, yes. And see, Josh is saying that you sound loud. But, I mean, Sean does speak very loud, though. That's the problem.
What?
Yeah, exactly. You see? I think it's just I think the YouTube doesn't want us on Wednesdays. I can't see myself. Your sound sounds really loud. I don't know what's going on here.
Steven Gonzalez says, no, unfortunately, Frankie, you sound good.
Ah,
Mimo says I sound better. I'm sorry. I'll try to get through this as quick as we can so we can get to the great World Cup coverage that we'll have next, which will be Frankie Fresco talking about all the groups and me just sitting here looking at them. So that's what our coverage will look like. Frankie Fresco this week. Let's dive into the quick topics. MJF injured, hyper extended his knee against Roosh. Had to cancel a independent show. He will be on TV, and everybody's like worried about. But the interesting thing that I think people forget about is this: usually, if these guys go to an independent show, they're booked to wrestle. They're not booked to just show up and be like, "Hey guys." So MJF's not gonna, he can go to AEW TV and cut a promo with an injured knee. You're not going to go to an indie show and just go there to be in the audience when you've been paid to wrestle. So your thoughts on that? Because again, apparently AEW thinks you have to have fighting champions.
So it's official that MJF is officially injured. He injured his knee.
Yes, he sent out a thing saying it's still swollen, it hurts, he hyperextended it, and he canceled one date, I think, for independently.
Now, question: Is it gonna affect any of the pay per views? Like, is he fighting at Forbidden Door? Do you know?
Supposedly, he is going to fight at Forbidden Door. That's the reason he's not. Again, he's going to show up to TV to just do promos and probably advance whatever. I doubt there's any physicality with MJF at this point, and if there is, it's going to be probably somebody sliding into the ring and him rolling out just to make sure nobody touches the knee or anything like that. I would think. I would not push it any more than that.
I mean, look, if I don't think he even has to be on the card.
I don't either, but if you're going to have him on there, don't.
I think because this isn't this the wasn't this the same way they had Adam Cole a couple years ago where he was like running down and then he accidentally hurt his leg and then after
He
that,
jumped off the stage and broke his ankle, which killed the devil gimmick.
yeah. So I mean, a lot of things could happen. Don't bring him, or if you're gonna do stuff with him, just go ahead and have like a promo or a segment, done somewhere else where he doesn't have to be involved, and that's it. You don't need you you know how WWE sometimes does it where look, Saturday night main event a couple of weeks ago they had Penta fight and defend his belt, and I don't think we had I think that was a Saturday night where I don't think we had a championship match
Other than that one, I think.
other than that one, right? So
It was the Becky one but it was a disqualification that lasted like 2 minutes.
and you know what? Maybe this is a good thing for AEW because maybe what they could do is they could go ahead and why don't you give the headliner to the AEW Women's Champion? Like, why does she doesn't head ahead? I mean, Tekla's been doing a great job. I think this is a good way for her to probably even maybe headline one and see what you get from the crowd reaction. See if the crowd actually enjoys it. Maybe focus a little bit more on her and put a little bit more weight on her, and then let her kind of carry that pay per view. There's nothing wrong not having, the AEW champion, not wrestle. There's nothing wrong with that. So I think they could go a different route. This could actually be a blessing. Just let somebody else hold it down. Maybe you could end the championship with the tag team. Maybe something like that. Especially since Cope and Christian are the champs. You could probably end the show with that. So it's like don't push it because at the end of the day, I think the ultimate goal for AEW is for MJF versus Will Ospreay and all in. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think they have Forbidden Door to get through, and then All In is right around the corner. So,
yeah, and
again,
if you
this
affect
is one of those things, too, to where technically, to be honest, man, don't have MJF be a part of Forbidden Door. I don't know what the creative was for him, but why push it? If that's the match that you want at All In, that's two of your biggest guys going against each other in Ospreay's home country. Like you can't just slide somebody in there to fill that spot. It's not. It's like one of those things that you built up for this crescendo that has to happen. And I want to thank real quick Tyler Helton in, me Papa, Josh is in, Adrian's in, Memo's in as well. So I want to thank everybody that's already. Steven Gonzalez already in as well. So thank everybody that's in on the chat. Apologize.
And I appreciate all of you guys saying that Frankie, you sound good. Even though you guys say, unfortunately, Frankie does sound good. I appreciate I sound good and Sean doesn't. Thank you guys.
Yes, yeah. Nice Miami Shark shirt there. I like that.
Yeah, we retired. The team is retired. We don't have I think we're going to the same, I don't know.
It happens in those leagues, man, unfortunately, man. It takes a lot of people don't understand how much time, money, and leadership that has to be there to get those teams, off the ground and running. Tyler says, I heard that rumors AEW add another new pay-per-view.
I was hearing that they wanted to add another pay-per-view, but I'm looking online. What the hell's going on with my laptop? And I'm looking online right now, and I see. So these are the ones that are coming up on my thing. Obviously, Double or Nothing was done, right?
Yes.
Then they had. It says here, Summer Blockbuster, June the
That's
10th.
tonight. That's tonight.
That's tonight. Then you had Forbidden Door, which is June the 28th. Then you have something called Beach Break, I guess. That's in
Yeah, that's
Clearwater for
another. Yeah, it's
July
gonna be
8th.
another collision or dynamite.
Redemption, that's on July the
I
26th.
think that's the new one. I believe that is the new pay per view Redemption.
And then yeah, because then the after that you have AEW Grand Slam Mexico, which is August the 5th. And that's
Which would
actually
be a
this.
AEW Dynamite probably.
Yeah, see, they have so many like different names because look, it
Wait, so
has
when's All In? When's All In? Did I miss that?
All In is on August the 30th. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, okay. No. That's fine. I'm like, so you got what you've got right now. You've got Forbidden Door, Redemption, and then the two Beach Blast and Grand Slam Mexico before All In. If
Yes,
I heard you correct.
yes, good catch. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, again, do you have to have MJF be a part of those other than just being there to cut a promo? Like again, I don't think you have to have your title defended every show.
You don't, man.
Your heavyweight title, especially when you have so many belts.
Especially when you have so much talent.
Yeah.
Like you don't need it. You don't need the AEW belt to be defended on Dynamite either. Let's just keep it real. I think this is a good way to, you know, have the champion relax, you know. And this is another thing, Sean. They need this. They need to slow down sometimes when it comes to like remember Darby defending the belt every single consistent time. Like that was a lot of work for Darby. Like that.
But I feel like they did that so that when he got to verse MJF, they could use that as a reason to get the belt off of him so soon instead of him never defending it and then having to lose it the next. Because I believe it was just from one pay per view to the next. He dropped it from that quickly, but it felt like he defended the belt so much because he was on every collision and every dynamite. So then that caught up to him so that MJF could beat him. In a way, I feel like that's kind of like the storyline they wrote for that to happen because it was happening from one pay-per-view to the next. So they penciled in all the defenses to make it look like Darby was taking all that punishment that built up that ultimately cost him against MJF.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know, man. Like you said, and like I've said, I don't think MJF needs to wrestle. Just
No.
you could keep him relevant on Dynamite. Just show him here and there, and then let him recover really well. And then once he feels better, and like I said, hopefully he feels better by All In, we could have that main event between MJF and most likely Will Ospreay. Even though we've seen it before, but obviously a lot of people want to see that fight again.
Yeah, but again, I believe this one is going to be the launching pad for Osprey. Like
Oh, I hope so.
AEW will become Osprey's. Like to me, I feel like that's where this is. I mean, that would be a perfect launching point for it. I mean, it's his hometown. It's. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like you couldn't write it any better.
Here's the only problem, Sean. If it is his launching point, I think AEW has done kind of a disservice to Will Ospreay getting to that. You understand me? Like, you know how people built. Like, look at Cody. Cody was a great storyline all the way up to once he got the belt. I don't think they've done the same thing with Will Ospreay, considering that Will Ospreay, in my opinion, and MJF are probably the best two wrestlers and best characters that they have in AEW. I think it just feels for me like they just went ahead and said, hey, we're going to stick Will Ospreay in a tournament. He wins it, then he'll get a title shot, win the title, and then now it's the Will Ospreay era of him holding the belt. But never like building him up all the way to actually, I don't think they've done a good job. And don't get me wrong, it's also been that he's been injured as well. So that kind of hurt him as well. But I just feel like AEW kind of slacked off on that. But hey,
Yeah, but I think also with the Death Riders thing though, it's kept him out of the title picture, and then you can inject him into the title. So again, you just said that was what July 3rd or August 31st When was All In again? I'm sorry if I don't know if you
August
showed the
30th.
page.
August 30th.
August 30th. So we almost have 3 months
Yes.
before we get there. So again, if you injected it too quickly, now we're getting burned out on it and like, okay, just give Osprey the title. Hopefully, again, let's see how it goes. I like what they're doing, where they've kind of rebuilt him and his attitude. I'll see where it goes from there because again, we'll get into this in another topic here in a little bit. But at least they feel like they're trying to do something different than just okay, well, here you go. You're going to come back. You're going to win the Owen Hart title, and then you're going on to verse, you know, and maybe ultimately it happens, but we'll see. We'll see. The other thing that's been going on, not in AEW, it kind of got AEW talk about it. CM Punk has been MIA from not the 305 MIA, but MIA from WWE TV.
Miami?
Yeah, he's in Miami, man. He's in Miami. Since he lost at WrestleMania, he came out I think the night after, and everybody felt it was kind of a goodbye. And then he's been gone, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's because of how they treated AJ Lee." Fightful Select came out and debunked some of the rumors, but now they've they've added something to some of them. Whereas AJ Lee apparently was only booked to get to WrestleMania. A lot of people were trying to say that was going to be an issue with CM Punk, and to be honest, I was one of those that kind of thought like, hey, it makes sense if they didn't, because I thought that AJ Lee was not a great run. If that was what the whole creative was, and they talked her to coming back in for that, I got to feel there was something there, something off there. But supposedly there's new creative and new merchandise coming out for CM Punk. Frankie Fresco. I know you're Mr. CM Punk guy too, along with Mr. AEW. There was also rumors that if he left WWE, would he show back up in AEW? And they use the old adage, never say never. Some bridges can be rebuilt. And Tyler, yes, there's a lot of lazy booking. Stick around. We'll get into that here in a couple minutes, I promise you. Frankie Fresco, your thoughts on just CM Punk?
All right. Well, first and foremost, no homo, but CM Punk looks freaking amazing right now. He is jacked up. I saw a couple of photos of him. He's looking really, really buff out there. I don't know if he's using steroids, but I know that when I sent the photo to the group chat, I think Adrian, who's on the chat board, was actually going and probably having crazy ass moments in the bathroom with those photos. That's all I gotta say. Now, when we go and we talk about CM Punk not being in the WWE world, and what is going on with WWE and CM Punk, it's concerning because at the end of the day, you know, he was built so high, and we've spoken about this during the fight leading up to WrestleMania with Roman Reigns, and then he completely just gets kicked off completely. And you mentioned, hey, he just wants a break, but I mean, I feel like, yeah, you could give the guy a break, give him maybe a couple weeks, but then after that, what's going on? Like, you know, like you want him back. He is a part of the storyline. He is somebody who's gonna be able to carry on the Raw brand, and make it relevant. And man, I don't know. It just seems disappointing that WWE once again is dropping the ball. I don't know if there's any risk of CM Punk ever leaving. I mean, I did hear rumors. There were rumors out there saying that, you know, that they were asking him to take a pay cut. I don't know how true that was. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. And if WWE did really ask him to take a pay cut, which would be interesting because I don't think he has the same leverage as Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns, especially how, you know, the last couple of weeks we've seen CM Punk completely gone and the shows are still going. Um, at the end of the day, I think WWE is just completely lost. And yes, the AJ Lee booking was really bad if that's what they were planning to do. Um, if CM Punk was to leave WWE and actually come back to AEW, I think that would be freaking amazing. But I think hell has to freeze over before that ever happens. I'm just
Yeah, I
keeping it
never
real.
see.
I
Yeah, I
would
can never
never.
see that actually even. I think he would just sit home and be like,
I mean, I think he'll go
if
to
that, I
TNA.
don't.
I think he'll go to TNA.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know what that whole situation is there. Like, that's just.
I can't ever see him going. How he could? There's no way he could actually go back to AEW and then the likes of Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and all those guys. That feud that he had, Hangman Page, those guys, and then all of a sudden just bygones be bygones. No way, dude. No way they're
I
gonna
mean,
do that.
it could be money though if they do it right.
No, dude. There's no way, man. I would be hell of a shocked if that was to ever happen where CM Punk comes back and then you those guys will allow it. Especially after so many interviews that we've seen from Tony Khan and a lot of the wrestlers saying, "Hey, look, the guys that we have in AEW right now are
Yeah.
all in sync. We're all good. We all are looking for the product to get better. We all want to give all of our ability. That way, the AEW can grow. And then you bring back CM Punk and all that drama that came, and ah, I would be shell shocked that guy ever made it back to AEW.
Yeah,
I think he could go to TNA, and I know TNA. I guess TNA is doing their own thing, or maybe they could go somewhere. He could go somewhere else, or maybe he'll just stop. He'll just stop wrestling. Maybe he'll just realize and say, "Hey, look, my time in wrestling has come to an end." I mean,
I
he's
mean,
up there in age too.
if he's smart, what he does is he stop if again if he wanted to. I think he'll be back on TV soon. I agree with what Adrian said. This is just time to get him away, refocus, get off the hole. He just got beat by Roman, and out of sight, out of mind. He pops back up his music hits. Everybody just happy to see him and things like that. But if he was to leave WWE, my whole thing is the only thing he could do is go do the Comic Cons and those WrestleCades, those things, and then charge top dollar because people will pay to see CM Punk.
They do, they really do. But again, Sean, I mean, and we're gonna talk about this in a few, but
We can jump into it right now because I think that was pretty much said what we need to say about CM Punk. So go ahead with your thought and let's get into it.
look, all right. So you were gonna mention something about how. Well, go ahead. What are the comments that our boy Bully Ray said about wrestling?
All right, so on his show, which of course is busted open on Sirius XM, he said, while discussing June 5th SmackDown segment with Cody Rhodes and Gunther, Ray was asked by co-host Dave LaGreca whether it was unusual for the heel to request a stipulation. Ray said he liked it and went on to explain that he is currently bored with much of pro wrestling. He said, Dave, this is now getting into what Bully Ray said on the show. Dave, I'm very bored with pro wrestling for the most part. Nothing really gets me going. Every once in a while in the WWE, every once in a while in AEW, every once in a while in TNA, something catches me, something resonates with me, where I'm emotionally invested. But for the most part, I'm very bored. Everything is very cookie cutter. Everything is very safe. I would say maybe AEW, if there's risks to take, AEW will take some more of the risks. So having the heel make the stipulation, you're like, isn't this weird? It's different. And I'll take different right now, said the Hall of Famer. He went on to say, even the segment to open SmackDown was very safe. Here comes Gunther. He's mad. He messes up the announce tables. He stands on the announce table. Blah, blah, blah. Here comes Cody. Let me hit my pose. Let me walk slow. Let me slap some hands. Let me get in the ring and talk. I mean, give me some layers to this. And to this shit. Give me some depth, he added. And there's where his comments were. And Frankie, want to get your thoughts on this, and then I'll get into mine because we kind of talked off camera here before we got on the thing. But I'll say my piece after. I'll let you go first, and then I'll.
All right. So here's my situation right now with wrestling in general. I think the problem that we're having is that we're not invested, and the people who are running these wrestling shows are just throwing haymakers just to see what hits. There's no sync between what they're giving us and us as fans enjoying what they're giving us. Because I agree 100%. There are some times that I'm not feeling the shows. I'm not into the shows. I'm not as excited as like back in the day when I'd be like, oh man, I gotta watch the show. Oh man, this is great. Oh man, we got this. I mean, look, there was such a huge letdown for WrestleMania, building up to WrestleMania. Uh, there's been weak shows when it comes to the Saturday night main events in the WWE world. When it comes to the AEW world, we get a great pay-per-view, but the dynamites and the collisions don't live up to expectation. At the end of the day, I think the problem with the wrestling world is that they're too predictable. And I think they've gave too much for us to know about it. I think at the end of the day, like for example, that those whole shows telling us about, what's real and what's not, the ins and outs about wrestling and all that stuff, that's hurt a lot of people because you kind of know and you kind of see what is going to happen. And when you don't see any change and you see the repetitiveness over and over again, you start to wonder and say, is this actually even worth watching? I mean, look, I watched Monday night. You want to know when I watched Monday night? I watched Monday night last night. And it was like, I was like, all right, let me tune in. And when I watched in and I saw it, I was like, it was okay. It was not bad. I like the Femi Dominic Mysterio segment. But besides that, it was lackluster. And a couple weeks, what was a week ago or something? It was Seth Rollins and all that stuff. I mean, again, a lot of repetitive stuff. And like you said, WWE's way of giving the show is somebody always comes out at the very beginning. They'll either talk or say something. Here comes somebody, it interrupts them, says something. Then you get some scrawl between all of them. Then all of a sudden, the general manager is going to come out, say, hey, we're going to go ahead and set up a fight between you, and this is going to be the main event. And there you go. That's probably 90% of how they always do the shows, both on Raw and on SmackDown. And it's just so predictable, so lackluster, that it really just doesn't get us excited. And I'm going to tell you something too, Sean. I don't know about you, man, but I think moving all the shows, the programming to Netflix and to ESPN and all this crap and all these damn commercials and all that crap, I think it's ruined wrestling too. I mean, for me, it's hard to watch wrestling on Netflix sometimes because I thought it was going to be better. And I think since day one, it was very, very elevated, and then slowly it has gone worse and worse and worse, and to the point where I'm like, you know what, man, I like to skim through it. Like I'll be like, screw this. That's why I kind of waited until Wednesday because I was like, I could fast forward through this, I could fast forward through that, and nobody has to worry, and I don't have to sit here and watch a show for 2.5 hours. I could just go through like the main parts that I feel like are okay. But yes, right now for me, I think wrestling is kind of and it's kind of hard to watch right now.
Yeah, I have not watched a live show in probably 6 months. I am totally lost in the repetitive storytelling and lazy storytelling throughout. You'll have one good one here, one good one there, but it is lazy. It is very, very lazy. I mean, and you're trying to push so hard for certain guys to get over, that get good pops when they come out and get good pops when you say something, but everything in between, people can care less. And then you have guys there, and you could write good stuff for them, and stuff that has written itself in AEW and WWE, and you don't use it. That is a lot of the stories back in the day was real life animosity that was amped up. I get, and I agree and disagree with you on the whole thing about the Unreal, because again, it's not like they're pulling the curtain back just enough for people to see, the ins and outs. But again, if you think that people are getting to understand too much, but then you know what? Actually, let me put it this way. If that is ruining pro wrestling, you have the wrong people in creative.
Yes.
Because you have to be better than your other stuff, because you just showed them. It's like a magician showing you a trick. Hey, I want to make the pin disappear. Okay, here's what I did. I dropped it and it disappeared, and I put your hand over here. Now, guess what's going to happen in 2 months? We're going to do it again. And that's what's going on right now. It's like, okay, here we go. Yeah, again, it's just, there's so much like going on right now. So instead, with everybody going, okay, the story comes out that WWE has 2 people named that they want to verse Roman Reigns, Oba Femi and Seth Rollins, right? So you go into King of the Ring, you look at Seth on this side, you look at Oba on this side, and you go, okay, Brock will probably interfere there. The Vision will interfere there, or Seth will cost Braun, because Braun's right going through. And then you go, well, maybe not Seth, because if Seth and Oba, they probably wouldn't push Oba so quickly. And then they go, aha, not so fast. This is what we're going to do. Javon Evans is advancing. And he'll take on the winner of this 4-way of SmackDown, because we're smarter than everybody else. Dude, I'm not invested in this King of the Ring. I'm not. You could have worked it to where you got Seth and Braun in the finals by costing Oba Femi in a 4-way match. And now you've got Oba going into the semifinals. If Oba makes it to the finals, then you're going to bring out Brock Lesnar to cost Oba Femi? Or are you going to put Oba Femi in a match and have him win it, and then he goes, to face Roman Reigns? You think the storytelling's bad now? Wait till the title gets put on Oba Femi.
Sean, did you see that Oba Femi was talking? Dom comes out. JD hits him with a chair and does absolutely nothing. You're building this guy like unstoppable.
Oh, no, I mean, I can understand that, because JD's not that big, bro. Like again,
you give him a chair shot, and you all of a sudden, again, you're building this guy to the point where you're like, yo, this guy is unstoppable. What chances does Dom have to actually beat him? Even if he cheats his way, he can't. Like, dude, it's bad.
You had a chance to eliminate Oba in the 4-way. Now he has to get pinned somewhere if he loses the tournament.
How can he lose? To who?
I don't think he can. But then he's going to be taking on Roman.
And then Roman beats him, or he beats Roman? I don't know. It's just, it feels like
because all they're trying to do is write to the pay-per-view to sell seats and get paid and have a big audience. They're not looking any further down the street. What is our biggest chance of getting SummerSlam eyes on the product or whatever? And it's, what if Oba took on Roman? Or what if Oba, again, the whole thing should be Oba retiring Brock Lesnar at Minnesota, if that's the case. Like, that's already written itself. It's 1-1. But now you've got to, where you had a chance again, and a 4-way environment, Oba doesn't have to get pinned. Oba could have took somebody out through the barricade and somebody quickly hit a roll up and boom, now he's out of the tournament. Why you put him in a tournament, I don't know. But
it's the same thing. Like, why did they put Liv Morgan in the tournament? She is the champion, and you have other girls that could actually roll in there. There's a storyline they could have easily created and put more emphasis in it, which is Roxanne and Liv Morgan. They could have been building that. I saw that they did a little bit this past Monday, but they could have been building this a long time ago to the point where you don't need Liv Morgan in the King of the Ring.
You realize Liv has not defended her title yet since she won it?
No, because they're clueless. And then look, what you just finished saying is a very
No,
good point.
I'm not saying, look, as a fan and you're watching it or whatever, yeah, it sounds sweet. You get Oba, you get Roman, you get them to fight each other. But then what? Then what? That's the problem they're having right now is, great, you had the WrestleMania, you had a couple storylines going, you had it going great, then what?
They're just putting everything all at like one shot. Like, hey, let's do this. Let's do it. Like,
This
for
is
example,
the seats, and they wanted the money for the thing, and then what? And again, this is the one thing where, like, you know, when you look at what AEW does, that is their formula. Their TV is okay. They make their money on the pay-per-view because they give you, you know, matches you probably wouldn't see, probably way too many matches. But that's their formula. Now I feel like this is the formula that WWE is going to, but they're trying to. Dude, you have Netflix. There's no rating on Netflix. You could go back to the Attitude Era if you wanted to on Netflix. And yet, you do nothing. You keep it calm. You could do whatever you wanted on Netflix. And instead, you're keeping it a calm, regular program like it's on USA or where Fox or whatever other one. No, you could have added stuff to this, made it different, and instead it's the same old, same old.
here's the other thing, Sean, that I was upset because you're right. What business does Javon have to win that Fatal 4-Way? Why? Why him? He's coming out of the blue. He wasn't even in any of the last previous pay-per-views, if I'm not mistaken. So why? Why all of a sudden this kid is... and I get it. You're trying to build him. I get it. But this is not the right way. If that was the case, then don't put Seth Rollins in the tournament. Don't put Oba Femi. At the end, what are we going to get? Javon Evans versus Oba Femi in the final? I mean, again, it's like they're forcing these guys onto us. Look, yesterday, Tatum Paxley lost, and she was saying her goodbyes to everybody. It looks like now they're bringing her up. And it's like, whoa, like, dude, like, slow down. Like, you're bringing everybody and you're trying to feed
No, it's because
everybody.
it's the TKO way. It's, again, I guarantee you, they're probably told if this person's making over so much money, they get cut or you bring them up to the main roster. And that's what's happening right now. It's TKO, to me, looking at it, it's about the money. The pay-per-views, let's get top dollar for those pay-per-views, and they're missing the mark on the storylines to me. They're rushing through storylines to get what? Like, again, Brock and Oba's 1-1 between Backlash, WrestleMania. If you're 1-1, and I'll go, because I don't think that you're wrong, Josh, but let me ask you this. If you're 1-1, I beat you once, you beat me once. Why do I need to jump in and cost you a match to get the rubber match? That writes itself. This is the easiest writing of the story. Like, it's got to be Oba against Brock. I mean, it writes itself with that story. You don't have to have Brock come out and cost him. That's lazy. That's lazy to me because you're looking for it to happen at some point. Because I don't think Oba's winning the King of the Ring. Because then what do you do after that? He goes and takes on Roman? And what, Roman's going to beat him? There's nothing there that again, how do I get invested in those stories when you look at them and say they make no sense.
And here's the other thing you have to also.
This is the problem I've had with AEW TV forever. Forever. And now WWE is doing the same thing.
Yeah, because what does AEW like to do? AEW, look at Ciampa, came from WWE, and here, let's give him a fight and give him a title belt shot, and he won the belt. And that has always been the issue that we've had with AEW, where we say, hey, their storylines, they need work on that shit. They need to build on it and make it actually relevant. That way, hey, let me tune in on Dynamite, because if I don't know what's happening leading up to the pay-per-view, if I see MJF versus Tommaso Ciampa, I'll be like, what the hell? How did that come about? Oh, I had to tune into Dynamite. I had to tune into a Collision. No, AEW likes to just say, hey, look, we'll throw a tournament here. You win it, there you go. You're the new champ. You face the new champion. There is no relevancy when it comes to, hey, how does this person make it all the way?
You don't miss anything if you miss a program. You don't miss anything.
That's why you could just tune into the pay-per-view and be like, damn, these are great matches, but there's no story leading up to it. They're getting better. They have gotten better, but that was been the issue. And you're right. Now WWE,
when you have nothing and you get a little bit better, it's like, again, and again, to me, it's WWE feels that the need that, okay, we're in a little bit of an issue here. Okay, break out the bloodline.
All day, bro. All day they brought that.
And it's like, this is not failed main event Joe Uso. Like it just does not, to me, it doesn't build anything to me. For like, okay, so what now? Roman sends Jay over to SmackDown and win the King of the Ring, and then take the title from Cody, so that it's, me and you on top of. Really? I saw Jey Uso have the belt for 2 months, and they couldn't get it off him quick enough.
And again, I see Adrian on the chat board, and he was saying, hey, Frankie's a homer. And he says that also that it's still real to me. Damn it. Raw was good, brother. Dude, if you think this is good wrestling and this is good booking, then bro, I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know if that you're trying to be a big homer, or if you need to go and watch the previous Raw.
Raw had moments when Chad Gable came out and got the pop he got. Like, again, it's little things that WWE does not capitalize on. The same with AEW. You got Chad Gable at the height coming off of El Grande Americano. What are you going to do with that? LA Knight was at the top for a while, and people are tired of it now because you never do anything with them. And now he's lost the to me, the fans. Yes, they pop when his music hits. Yes, they say LA Knight. Did you watch the rest of the promo? He was saying stuff and the crowd stayed silent until he said, F your family.
It's sad.
Because nobody believes in LA Knight, because you never give him a win when he needs it.
It sound look, and guys, correct. Look, me and Sean are on the same page here. Correct us if we're wrong. If you guys are on the chat board, don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. Tell us if you feel the same way. If you feel,
but Adrian, here's the problem I got with that is, like, I just enjoy the show. Give me a reason to enjoy the show. You want 3 hours of my time to watch your show? Then give me something to enjoy. Not a 15-minute segment and then 45 minutes of whatever else after that. It's like, that's why, again, I'm not mad at it. I just don't watch it.
yeah,
I'll tune in later. I'll catch up on it afterwards. Or whatever. I'll treat WWE like I treated AEW. I get everything I need from social media nowadays. Like, I don't have to watch a program. I got YouTube. I can watch the whole, everything good that happened. This is how crazy it is. AEW and WWE. They take a 3-hour show and make a 9-minute highlight reel.
That's sad.
There you go. There's your pro wrestling.
And here's the thing, also, Sean. Um, I feel like some of these companies are just focusing on like big moments, like what's gonna pop and what's not. Like you even saw it in TNA the other day when they had the taping of the Hardy Boys wrestling against I forgot the name of that group, but you had Jeff and all of a sudden I think it was spitting out stuff from his mouth, and he was like because he got some flour stuck, like poison flour stuck in his mouth, and he was like gushing out
Oh yeah,
venom
that's
and shit.
the Garden of Eden or something like that.
Yes,
Mystery
yes.
Garden, whatever. Yeah.
And they did that for like a pop, like wow, here we go, like a big huge pop, and I feel that that's what happens with a lot of these with WWE, TNA, AEW. They just want pops, certain pops. That way, when it leads up to like their pay-per-views, people would just chime in and tune in. Whatever happened to them just going ahead and like look at the Chad Gable? I believe he was on SmackDown. He showed up on SmackDown, and I believe he showed up on Raw. Like, invest on him. He is coming off a hell of a fight, a hell of a storyline in the AAA world. Do something about it. Invest to show us that, yo, like, we want
Well,
to see.
they are actually they're doing something with them by doing the whole, going to all the luchadors and apologizing for how he, what he did and this and that, and then he came out to save Ray. So I mean, again, but they got to they need to keep that going and to talk about. No doubt said I'm a little confused. LA Knight never gets a big win, but weren't you just saying Oba's being misused by winning? Oba's not is hot right now, and they are using him. Yeah, but Oba should be an Andre the Giant. Like my whole problem with the way they used Big Show is the problem where like those are guys that are attractions. They're not guys. Andre never won a heavyweight title. The reason he was never put in that position until WrestleMania 3 was because how would you logically book Andre the Giant as the heavyweight champion? How would you logically book Oba Femi as the champion? I'm not worried. Look, they can push him to the moon. My worry is, okay, he wins King of the Ring and gets a title shot. You can't Kevin Nash Goldberg him and just kill that momentum by having Roman beat him. And Roman being the only one that beats him. Like that's where I get into the whole, and again, maybe I just, look, I like wrestling, I love wrestling, but I also love the fact that it's entertainment and it should make you react to something. And lately, other than the pay-per-views, which was like WrestleMania, Backlash, I just, there's nothing there to make me go great on TV. And Adrian, I agree. It is different perspective. It's not always good. It's not always bad. I'm not saying it's bad that there, but again, if you want to build on what you had, you've got to build on it. You can't just be like, hey, we're happy with 1.6 million people, 1.6 watching us, so we'll just keep doing things. I feel like they've gotten to the lazy routine. Like, hey, it's working. We're getting the eyes on. We're getting people showing up at pay-per-views. Let's just keep going with this. Instead of saying, okay, how can we better this? How can we take a step up? How can we get an oh shit moment? How do we get, again, I mean, I know Josh said it's so predictable. Wrestling, if you watch it long enough, can become predictable. But why can't they throw in something where, like, I mean, it's.
Dave,
Yeah, man. Maybe I'm just. Maybe I've lost my smile. Maybe
Sean,
for pro wrestling. Maybe that's what.
Here's another thing.
That's what we go to.
Here's another thing you also got to realize. I mean, I'm pretty sure Dom Mysterio came out. I think Liv came out. Both of them complaining, saying, "Hey, they're not doing anything with us for a while," and then all of a sudden they brought him out of the blue. You all of a sudden have Javon Evans winning out of the blue. You all of a sudden have any craziness over Femi all of a sudden popping up, and they're pushing him like there's no tomorrow. It's not the fact that you've lost it. It's the fact that what they're giving us right now on both brands. I'm not gonna go ahead and just pick on WWE because it sounds like I'm picking on WWE, but on both brands. Because look at AEW with MJF and how they feel they have to push him continuously. He has to wrestle every freaking Wednesday. No, chill, relax. Again, it's all about building. It's a soap opera. It's a soap opera for us guys with some wrestling mixed in the middle, and that's what you guys have lost. Like now, all of a sudden, when it comes to this, there is no story. That's why so many people thought the AAA original Grand Americano and the Grand Americano was such a great fight and a great moment because you were invested. Look how long that story worked, and it built both of them very, very highly. Yeah. They both did a great job.
Match, they reused a lot of the stuff that had happened. Came back. What's her name? His name, Pimpa, whatever. Came back as one of the,
Pumpanelli, some shit like that.
Something like that. Yeah, it's just, man. And again, my problem too is this: I'm sitting here yelling about creative and everything, but I don't know what they're working with. I don't know what they're being told to from above.
Well, did you hear?
And I don't mean Triple H, and I don't mean all that. I mean above. Like, look, this is what we're expected. As long as our pay-per-views are getting this many views and this many buys and people are coming to the arenas, it's business as usual. And again, but it just feels like it's stopped. It's like running on a treadmill now. It's just over and over.
Did you get a chance to hear what Karrion Kross said about Triple H?
He was upset that he didn't reach out to talk to him after he got let go. I saw that. I don't know what else.
Well, is it okay if I play this sound? I sent it to you on Instagram, and I could play this sound. I'll put it on the mic, and then you guys could tell me what you think about what he's saying. Hold on a second. Let me raise the volume here, and I'm gonna play this. Let me put it just close to the mic. So check this out.
I would say that there are people who call things in, and he has to make the best of what they want to play out on television and the PLEs. Mm-hmm. That's just my guess. And I base that on pattern recognition. And that's a thing that has become very prevalent, especially with like Gen Z. When it comes to entertainment, if you're creating something episodic with continuity, when continuity fails, there's a red light that goes off. People go, what happened here? Especially with wrestling. Back in the day, you hear about guys on punishment booking. Well, suddenly this push is killed. And then you hear months later he got in trouble outside of wrestling, so they didn't feel like they could depend on him. Or he hurt somebody, he dropped somebody in the head or something. Now that there's new players involved, when there's a failure of continuity and people don't like it, it removes people from the suspension of disbelief, that entertainment, you know what I mean? I don't think that's him. He has his own patterns that I think were aligned with what the audience mostly wanted to see, and that's speaking as a person who used to work for him. And I knew when he could call all of his shots, and I had an idea of when he couldn't. And to me, this looks like a situation where he can't call all of his shots, and I don't mean that disrespectfully at all.
Look at that. So you see, even him, he's even saying that Triple H is not even calling the shots. That this is a very good chance that I'm getting the vibes here, bro, that this guy is just a puppet now. And they're calling all the shots, and he's just saying yes, just to keep his job.
Yeah, I mean, that's what a job that pays him handsomely, the stock options that are there and everything else. I mean, again, he's trying to make the best with what he has. But again, to me, it's the TKO is just like, hey, this is Oba's big. Let's push him and make money off of him. Let's do this. But the problem gets to is when you're in the creative side, again, once you get Oba to a certain point, what next?
And
What
that's
next?
and not only that, Sean. What happens if all of a sudden you have Oba? They tell Triple H, "Hey, we're gonna put Oba in, and you need to push him and all that stuff." And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, one of the guys is like, "Hey, you know what? How about we push Javon now?" So now Triple H has to step back and be like, "Okay, now let's go ahead and bring Javon some way somehow," and that's the problem. You're just throwing out ideas, and then this guy has to kind of like try to create as much as possible and put it all together. That way, it makes some type of sense. But it's hurting the product because he should be the one saying, "Hey, look, guys, relax. We don't
Well,
need."
problem too is when you're talking about this real quick with the continuity thing, you might have booked a 6-week program. You get to week 3, and now they're like, yeah, we want to use this guy here. That's not even close to what we were trying to get to here. And now, and then us, at home, the fans are like, what just happened? So
It's just
But
crazy.
again, here's my problem, and I'm just going off what Adrian just wrote in there. I get that he called, but like, okay, so you called Brock a bitch. Like he beat you once. You beat him once. Like I don't understand why we got to call him each other. You're calling him a bitch. He just F5'd you 7 times. Put you through a table. He treated you like his bitch. And now you're going to talk big. Like, it's just, to me, he beat me once, I beat him once. Let's get a third match and see who the better man is. That's a better story than having to go, oh, you're a bitch, so what now? So now he shows up on the next Raw and costs Oba the match, so now we set up for us. Like, that's just lazy, man. It would be more difficult to write it to be like, put in a thing. Oba surprised Brock, went through this whole transition, go through the whole thing as Oba coming up and what he did to Brock at WrestleMania, right? And then you go to Minnesota or whatever, with him retiring. And then if they were smart, everybody thought Brock laid down his gloves in the thing. What if Brock, the day after he beat Oba at Backlash, released a social media post and been like, you thought I put my gloves down. I went back to home and I worked my ass off so that when I got back in the ring with you at Backlash, I'd be a different Brock. That tells a different story. But they're too busy about, oh no, we got to get Brock to jump him from behind and F5 him and rip his pants and to set up for that area of it. Like, to me, I would have just had Brock walk out and been like, again, this is the beast incarnate, right? Nobody else is in his league. Oba just did what he did to him at WrestleMania. Big man, you got the best of me at WrestleMania. I'm going to get the best of you at Backlash. Why do you need to jump him? Why do you need to, if you're this rough and tough and badass dude, you got to jump somebody from behind to get the advantage?
It's just bad, man.
Like, there's other ways to write out stories and to keep it going. And then behind the scenes, you could have Brock, again, detailing his whole time while he's training, went back to his MMA style, in his barn, doing haystacks, whatever he's doing. But he's preparing for Oba, and then you can have Oba, think, hey, look what I did to him at WrestleMania. Now you get a different Brock at Backlash, and he beat him. Hey, I beat you, you beat me. Let's do the rematch in your hometown in Minnesota. So, like, I get it. You guys start SummerSlam, but again, what are you going to do with Oba? Put him in a title match, and then have Brock cost him the title?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just at the end of the day, man, I don't know. It just doesn't seem for me like they have any like direction.
You got two badasses going to fight each other, and you're treating it like it's the old days with Ric Flair and the Horsemen and jumping each other and everything else. Like, these are two badasses, man. Make it feel badass, not just, oh, Brock's going to cost him this. Like, to me, that makes Brock, like what Oba said, he's a bitch. If you're doing that, you got to do all this to get my attention. You just beat me at Backlash. You have my attention, Brock Lesnar. It just doesn't, like, man. And then I just, like, it's lazy booking for all this stuff. I mean, great. Okay, so Seth cost Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker and them cost Seth. Brock's gonna cost
Oba Femi.
Oba. Like, so then what are we doing? Are any of these matches gonna end clean? Because the 4-way coming up soon, with the way it's looking at now, he's probably gonna have something with the bloodline with LA and Jay. So, like, again, what match in the whole King of the Ring tournament so far has not been that way?
No,
because Tala got involved in the solo match. There's always been somebody involved in every one of the matches so far.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's not selling us on it, and it seems kind of disappointing right now because they just, I don't know, they're just trying to hit on certain things and see if it sticks and it makes sense for them, but I don't know. And then you also look, man. I'll give you this as well because I did see the Sol Ruka and Liva Valkyria match, and I thought that was okay. It wasn't bad, but again, like, you know, I know that she supposedly is gonna be the fighting champion. She has to defend her belt and all this stuff, but oh man, it's just it's hard for me to be invested on Sol Ruka because I kind of thought it was kind of messed up the way that, like, if you've been watching Becky Lynch, the way she was posting on social media saying, "Oh, I'm not enjoying this," or "I'm frustrated," this and stuff like that, because obviously she had just lost the belt to Sol Ruka, and you see Becky doing this on social media the whole time, and then all of a sudden you put Becky Lynch in that women's Fatal Four for the Queen of the Ring. What was the whole point of her doing that on social media? Like, why aren't you not continuing the storyline with her and Sol Ruka? And yes, you could have Sol Ruka fight and defend the belt and all that stuff, but still have Becky involved in it. They just completely killed that and just said, okay, we're moving on. Like, that's it. It's done. So what was the point of Becky Lynch doing that on social media the whole time? It's just, again, like, dumb decisions where I'm like,
well, it just shows you the disconnect between probably the wrestlers and what they think is happening and what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because Becky's like, well, I just lost my belt. I'm going to be upset about it. Oh, wait. The next night okay. Wait. I'm not going to have anything to do with the title anymore for a while? Oh, okay. Well, again, it's really like the disconnect. There's a disconnect there. And again, as you said with what Karrion Kross put in there, and also, Brother BKL, good to hear your mother's operation is complete. Hopefully everything went well there. Thank you for tuning in. But the problem I have with it is, again, it's about the money, man. And again, if you tell Triple H this is what you're doing, this is what he's just got to do it.
And it's hurting the product, at least for me. I don't know, and for you too. Obviously, I feel like we're not invested anymore. We're not into it, like saying, "Oh, this is what I gotta watch wrestling. I gotta watch the show." It's losing its edge. And
I watch it. I just don't have to watch it. I watched a couple of the Raws after the pay-per-view, after the PLE, to catch up on. But I don't have to know what happened on them. Again, we talk about it. We discuss some of the stuff that goes on. Adrian and Tony, 2 Raw for SmackDown, they discuss a lot of the stuff. I'd rather get that information than spend 3 hours watching a Raw on SmackDown or Dynamite. Or, again, I'm using, because the examples we were using were WWE, but Dynamite's on right now. I can care less. When I'm done here, I'm going to switch it on to sports and watch that. I'm not going to watch, like there's been times where I would watch wrestling over a big sporting event. I watched that because that's what I was invested in. I am not as invested because I just feel it's gotten lazy, but it's gotten lazy, I feel, because they're just trying to make it stick to where show up for the PLE.
Well, you saw on SmackDown what they did is that they had on the women's side, you had obviously Mommy come out and she was talking, and then Charlotte Flair came out, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, here comes Tiffany Stratton. Like, why? You feel me? Like, she is the USA Women's Champ. Let her stay in her role, and then she's like, oh, I gotta be, I want your championship. Wait, are you trying to pull like an AEW where you're trying to get multiple championships on just one person? Like, come on, man. Like, let her roll. Let her do her thing on the USA side with her belt. There's no reason why they need to include her with a storyline with Rhea Ripley or Charlotte Flair. And then you get Jay Cargill come back out and all that stuff. I'm like, bruh, it's like you just said. Hey, let's just start throwing people in there. Fuck it. Let's just, let's just throw this right. Tatum Paxley. Now you're coming back. Now you're coming.
It's like on they get the whole women's locker room up to the gorilla positions. Like, if you hear your music, you're going to the ring. Be ready to say something. All right, spin the wheel. The music is Tiffany Stratton. Go.
And you know what's crazy is, like, I don't know if you saw this too, but they keep promoting Blake Monroe, which is fine. But she already showed up a couple times. Like, she showed up once with Chelsea Green and all that stuff. What was the point of that? Like, you're teasing us that she's Blake Monroe coming into that, but you had her at the actual.
Yeah, but I don't know. Did she go on the European tour though?
I have no idea. I know that
might have been the disconnect of that whole thing. Like, I don't know, depending on how she can. I don't know what her travel issue thing is.
Because they showed Blake Monroe's like promo again, saying, hey, she's coming, but she actually was already at one of the shows. She had an interaction with Chelsea. So what the hell is the point of you you already brought her? Like, stop sending us promos. Just put her out there. Like, she's already out there with Chelsea Green, and they just keep telling us, hey, Blake is coming soon. So again, it's just like what you said, a big disconnect when it comes to that.
Said no doubt. So when there's a PLE every 3 weeks, I kind of get it. If you had a big test in school every 3 weeks, you'd focus on those. Yeah, but you could still also have other storylines that are just relevant to Raw or to SmackDown, so that you need to tune in to understand those. Again, you've got the Chelsea Greens, you've got the JC Janes, I get it, you got the big names to carry your PLEs. But if you want me to tune in to SmackDown and Raw, the Judgment Day at one point was a good storyline. They weren't always on the PLEs and everything else there, but it was a storyline to get you to tune into Raw. Like that's what they got to go back to. You have to almost write storylines for the TV shows with the mid-card talent, and then have your, the guys that are on top and gals on top promoting the PLE, but at the same time, now you're promoting your PLE while keeping interest into tuning into SmackDown and Raw, because if I miss it this week, I won't understand what's going on next week with the shows. Even when Roman wasn't there for the Bloodline angle, look at what they did with them. They still had them running with Sammy, with KO, with all that stuff, and then you didn't want to miss a show for that reason. Now, yeah, you got a PLE every 3 weeks, but you're so focused on that, you're crapping all over your TV shows.
Yeah, the truth, man. It just sucks, and it's disappointing.
Oh, Frankie loves the guys on top. Uh-oh. You love the top guys, Frankie? FTR? FTR, you love top guys?
Jesus. And you know what? And like I said, you guys might feel like I talk a lot about WWE, but I mean, there's some certain things that sometimes I feel like, hey, they don't work right. Like, look at MJF.
To me, AEW has never gotten up to where they needed to. They've had instances and then injuries derail and things like that, but it's like.
But okay, so there's certain things that people are.
No doubt. I don't know if you heard what Karen Cross said. I don't know that it falls on the writers. They might be writing it, But again, if TKO and the higher ups and the board is like, no, Oda's got to be on every show. No, this guy has to be on every show. This guy has to be on every show. Now you start taking away from time. There's only so much time you can do on a show. So, yes, I would say should fall on the writers. But the problem is that what is TKO stepping in and the board saying, we need this guy on. We need this guy on. Hell, I don't think we've seen Danhausen in a couple weeks, right?
No, he was there.
I've seen him more on ESPN and at the finals than I did on
no, he was there
on
last.
show, right? Was he there?
He was on SmackDown. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I think
Didn't know his recorded gimmicks.
Yeah, they're still doing the whole.
Yeah, I know on the house show he was teaming up with Cody. So
No, and look, when you and again, not only picking on WWE, you got the AEW side, and on the AEW side, there's a lot of things like look how they just threw in Roosh against MJF, and that's how MJF got hurt.
Yeah.
And you still got this guy Briscoe. He's still always challenging MJF, which
I'm not sure where all that came from there.
Where does that that was a while back? Why do you keep bringing that? Like it's just. Hey, today I feel like Briscoe has to call out MJF.
Yeah.
Let's just throw him out.
It's to me, honestly, Frankie, it's the same thing that I think it was Adrian that said there. They're just trying to get to All In. They're just trying to get to SummerSlam. How do we do that? Oh, let's put Mark Briscoe in a feud because everybody knows Mark Briscoe's not winning the title. So MJF fights him and beats him again, and then, but it's like, you can't come up with something better.
Look what they did to Mercedes Moné. She finally made her return, and that's what they did for her. Like she was surprised. Here she is. Why?
She was the wild card.
She was the wild card in the Owen Hart thing. Why?
Yeah.
That, you don't bring her in that. She doesn't need to come and all of a sudden just wrestle. Like she could have easily just come out on one of the pay-per-views. Maybe she could have been at Forbidden Door and just said something and didn't have to even wrestle, and that'll get even a bigger pop. But you just threw her out there and said, hey, here you go, Mercedes. Welcome back, and now you're going to fight and wrestle, and have a nice day. Nah, man, it's just lazy.
They tried on the broadcast to be like, this is the lady that beat her for 2 of her titles. And it's like, come on, we're going to do this now? She lost like 12 of all her titles, so now you're going to do this. But here's the other thing, too, man, is when I look at TV right now, I think Danhausen's one of the better things on WWE TV. And I think Leo Rush is one of the best things going on AEW TV. Not the stuff in the ring, although he's great in the ring. But, like, for instance, last week, Conglomeration finishes the match. They're walking to the back. Leo's music hits, and they all stop. And he walks through them with his whole thing there. Gets halfway through, they start walking, and then he stops, and he turns back a little bit, and they freeze up. And even Tomohiro Ishii is doing this, by the way, too. And you don't know, this guy was like I don't know how big he is, but he's a huge Japanese wrestler that like is no nonsense, and he's just doing this. And then he turns back around, and they all run off. And then now they've got Takeshita carrying the title in a backpack because he's joined the Conglomeration. Yeah. It's silly stuff, but Conglomeration has become a focal point of Collision and Dynamite, and they're not necessarily doing anything on the PLEs. And I get what you're saying. Well, PLE, yes, you have to focus on it, but you got to get back to using the mid-card guys and gals to make your TV, can't miss in a way. Yeah, you're gonna have hits and misses, but right now you're doing nothing. Anything you do now would be better than what they're doing.
Did you see that Will Ospreay and Mark Davis, where everybody and their mother came out for that fight? Another, just like WWE, everybody. Here comes the this guy Moxley and his crew, and then the Don Callis crew. Like, come on, dude. Like, I mean, it was great for a moment, I guess, but dude, like, that's too exciting. And you want to know what pissed me off too? In all honesty, is like you had this guy who just turned here. What's his name? The what is his name? The champion that he just fought Mike Bailey. What's his
Kevin
name?
Knight. Kevin Knight.
Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight. And Kevin Knight just turned heel, and you put him in the Don Callis family. Why? Why do you put him in the Don Callis family? Let him be a heel on his own. Let him do his thing. Let him build himself up. You don't have to stick. How many people are in the Don Callis family? Like 20,000, bro. Like, again, dumb, and it's just simple writing. Like, hey, today we're just gonna stick you in there because yeah, we should put you in there. Screw it, and think it's gonna pop. And again, those are missed hits. Those are the ones when you're like, man, what are you thinking, dude? Like, it just doesn't make any freaking sense. You're losing me by putting your. Now I have the feeling that what's gonna happen with Kevin Knight. Eventually, he's gonna lose the belt and he's gonna fall away, and people are gonna forget about him. That's the reality truth. 'Cause that's what. Look at what happened with Danny Garcia. Somebody had mentioned it earlier when we were talking the AEW portion. Danny Garcia has fallen completely off once he joined John Moxley and his crew. And you even mentioned it last week when he was doing his thing going like that and all that stuff, that he was a lot better. And it's true, he was better when he did all that. So it's just like, man.
And the other thing too is with wrestling, it's a lot of perception, man. And look, Daniel Garcia, I walk up to him in a bar, he may whoop my ass. But the perception is, looking at him, guy's not an ass kicker.
No, he is a showman guy. He's a guy who's out there like he's a baby all day, bro.
Yeah.
And he's entertained. He's not a badass. He's not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So yeah.
it's just disappointing, man. And I agree with you 100% that right now wrestling is just and Adrian, I know you've been seeing and I've been reading your comments. It's not that I feel that wrestling is bad and wrestling is good, because there's gonna be moments in each one. It's falling short in the sense
It's flat.
that
It's flat right now. It's flat.
That's what it is. It's not that it's bad and it's not that it's good. It's just that it's not like, man, remember when we used to be like, yo, I really gotta watch the show on Monday, dude, because this guy's gonna come out, or what is The Rock gonna say next, or hey, man, they're building it up, and again, it could be just because of how many shows they have, and they're just cramping them all up and trying to just do stuff really, really quickly. That way, they could just have something out there. But at the end of the day, it just falls flat right now, I'm more into AEW because at least AEW is starting to get, I think, a little bit of more momentum, but they still make their dumb mistakes too. But I'm hoping that that's the saving grace, because to be honest with you, man, it's just WWE for me right now it's not entertaining. It's not fun.
Neither of them are.
It's not fun, man. And it's look, man, we're old school, man. We've been watching wrestling for years, and it's just not. Well, it's not fulfilling anymore. Like, I'm not calling my friends and telling, yo, did you guys see that Monday night, bro? This thing, did you see this? Did you see that? Nah, man. I'm just like, okay, that shit happened. Okay, whatever. Whatever it is. Oh, did you read this? Did you read that? Yeah, sure. I saw it. Yeah, but nothing out of the ordinary that you could be like, damn, I really, really enjoyed the show.
It just feels like right now it's flat. And there are parts that I feel they're missing. But again, if it is from the top, above, meaning above Triple H, nothing's going to change because it can't. So,
No, and like what you said, Adrian, he says, I understand. Look, I just love it. Don't agree with everything, but I'm not going to stop watching, so I'll make the best out of it. And here's the thing. I'm not going to stop watching it either. But you saying, hey, I'll just make the best out of it, that's a bad thing, because you want that, you don't want to feel that way. You like it's like kind of like, hey, like a participation grade. Okay, cool. Just because it's happening, I'm gonna try to get the best out of it and enjoy it. No, you got to give us a product that actually is fun and entertaining. That at the end of the day, people are gonna be like, damn, fuck. We're watching wrestling. This is fun. WWE is back. AEW is kicking ass. TNA, AAA, all these companies are doing something phenomenal. We're not there. And it sucks.
Nope. All right, Frankie, let me know where they can get you, my man.
You guys can reach me at Frankie Fresco on all social media platforms. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to Squared Circle Digest every Wednesday. We're doing every Wednesday. Hopefully this doesn't change, but as of right now, it's every Wednesday. And then if you guys are gonna be in town for the World Cup here in Miami, you're gonna catch your boy Frankie Fresco, as I said at the beginning of the show, spinning in Hollywood for the block party for the Colombia versus Portugal. So if you're in close to Hollywood, Florida, or want to go and check out some soccer games, I will be spinning over there for the June 27th game, which is I'm excited. Gonna be wearing my Colombian jersey and showing love to all that. I mean, that's gonna be deed up. And if any single guys out there that want to probably run into some beautiful women, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be plenty of Colombian women out there. So just saying, just saying. And then of course, don't forget the World Cup, obviously. Let's go Colombia. Let's go USA. And let's go my third team, my surprise team, Mexico, baby. Mexico. Let's go Mexico.
All right, check me out at SS_Sports Talk on X, Standing Media House everywhere else. Hit that like button, subscribe. Appreciate you. Adrian, no doubt I appreciate you for hitting that subscribe and like. You can catch Standing Media House over there, Standing Media House Network, the Frankie Fresco Network on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe on both of those. I didn't know I was yelling at you. I apologize, no doubt. Apparently my mic is loud once again. I want to thank everybody that was in on the chat with us. Adrian, no doubt. I know Memo was in earlier. Tyler Helton was in. Josh was in. Brother BKL was in. I know my Papa was in. Josh was in. I think I said that already. Maybe I didn't. Everyone watched on X. Oh, we had a Freak Fart EG. We appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for tuning in there, man. He apparently got the best promotions. Tyler Helton, there he is. I said thank you. Steven Gonzalez was one of the first ones in. Appreciate you, sir. Hopefully you're still there with us. I know we had issues early on. Memo there as well. So thank each and every one of you. Watch on X, on Facebook, on Twitch. Jump on over to the YouTube channels. Hit the subscribe. Hit the like. Appreciate each and every one of you hanging out with us. Uh-oh. Did you read what Adrian said?
Yeah, he did say that I'm gonna run through some stuff, and absolutely I will. I'll try, definitely.
There it is. That comes from right there, the guy that likes the top.
Enjoy, guys.
Have a great going. So long from the Sunshine State.
Later.
To Papa.